All right, game week. Excited about that. Guys had a very good bye week. Thought they worked hard. Thought we got a few guys, some more reps that is much needed. The rhythm is probably not the best timing when you talk about bye weeks, and that's always a question. You'd like to get into a rhythm. It really doesn't matter. It is what it is. You accept it whether it's after game 9 or game 2. Bye weeks are going to happen through the season. But I did think the guys were focused. We did utilize that time to work on ourselves, also work on Oregon State. Utilize that time to go out and recruit. So we got a chance to get out there and see a few guys play over the weekend, which was great. Get back on the road, and it was exciting to do that and have Boise State, the brand out there. And you don't get that chance very often during the season to get out there and do some evaluations. So recruiting continues to be a huge part of what we do, and so to have that time was valuable for us. Back to work this week. I got a little work done on Sunday night. Today we have our practice. This is our physical practice, get after practice. Majority of the game plan goes in, and we start preparing for Oregon State. They're coming off a win against Idaho State. They had 5 turnovers on defense, and did a very good job there. So we got a chance to watch them play another game after playing Minnesota and having a bye week, and certainly see some really good things. We have to go play there. I think their students are all back this week, so the crowd will probably be different when we go in there to play. That was something that they did mention. They had a great crowd, but they didn't have all their students on campus, so everybody is back now. Certainly got to be thinking of that when it comes to playing there. But for our guys right now, it still comes back to us. We're focused on ourselves. How are we going to go out there and operate? How do we improve from last game? And certainly, what do we have to do to get better? Players of the game from the last game on offense was McNichols. On defense, second week in a row was Tanner Vallejo. On the offensive line was Stephen Baggett. Defensive line was David Moa. And the hard hat award winner went to Ryan Wolpen on special teams. And those are the guys we thought played and did some things in the Washington State game that we were very proud of, and needs to continue this week. So big week for us, and excited to get back. Looking forward to seeing our guys today to get out there and go play and practice. And with that, open up for questions.
Talking to a couple guys yesterday, it seems like, when you get a chance to play a Pac-12 team, it's a big deal to them. And I'm just curious, being a Mountain West school, when you get a chance to play a Pac-12 team, obviously you guys have had some success in recent years doing that. What is it about? I think they mentioned the word respect yesterday, for the program, and just what does this opportunity getting to play a second one in a row do for you, kind of from a national perspective?
Yeah, this is new for us when it comes to the Pac-12 teams being back-to-back, just with scheduling. We've done it before. It hasn't changed. We know who we are, and certainly we're excited about the game. I don't know how excited other teams get when it comes to playing us, but we're certainly fired up to go out there and play. And for us, the respect factor, we did go out there and just execute, practice, and get better. That's really what we have to do. All those things will come. You go play on Saturday; those are your opportunities. But your work week is really what's going to tell you how well you're going to play when you go out there and strap it on game day.
2 games in, how has the kind of new wrinkle with having Huff and Hill as the co-OCs, you calling the plays, how has that kind of worked out, do you feel? And also kind of what have been the pros and cons of doing that?
Yeah, I really can't answer that right now. I don't think we're into it enough. It's been okay, and those guys do a good job. I'm very, the staff works extremely hard. They're very bright. We're 2 games into it. It's hard to evaluate after 2 games exactly how that all works. We're a work in progress, certainly, and I would say for every phase of special teams and defense as well. I don't sit there and look at anything on there where I see number 1 across the board in the country, and it's Boise State. So we certainly have a lot of things that we have to improve on. We'll know more as we get through this game. I always think those first 3-4 games you have a better idea of what your team and process is. Certainly believe in it, but we got a lot to prove and get better at as well.
Coach Anderson said at his press conference yesterday he wouldn't be interested in playing Boise State anymore after this week's game because they're too regional. Boise State, on the other hand, loves playing the Pac-12 teams. How would you answer that, and how do you feel about playing the Pac-12?
Oh, we're excited. Yeah, certainly. We are certainly recruiting the same areas as they are and have battled with Oregon State in recruiting. It's certainly good for us, and I think it's a great game. I think it always has been. And, you know, it's Oregon State. They're very good. And those games with Boise State has been very good battles in the past. So, you know, I don't know where they recruit. I really don't know what their areas are. I'm not quite sure why it wouldn't be around the area that they live in. But we certainly are. And we like the kids that come from the Northwest. And, you know, that's a big area for us. We're going to continue to keep recruiting that. So it's a good game for us to use in recruiting as well.
Just kind of on that note, I mean, you got a couple guys on your roster that were once committed to Oregon State and they decided to come to Boise State. Just I mean, curious on how you sold your program versus a Pac-12 school in those regards, maybe.
Yeah, I remember those guys just kind of through the process and all that. You know, I think it just comes down to fit. I don't know exactly how much selling and all that. I think these guys, it's like anything else. You're trying to find the right fit. And certainly when you're recruiting, you're trying to put your best foot forward in the process. And just felt like those guys thought Boise State was the better fit. Probably just from the overall, whether it be scheme and how they fit into that, or it's you know, just who we are. And certainly, you know, like I said before, that's why the recruiting and playing these games makes sense to me, and certainly helps us in recruiting where if we have a chance to go play in areas that we're actually trying to get guys out of. In Oregon, we've gotten better in that area, and certainly I think the players that have come out of Oregon are very good, and that they understand our culture, that they've come in here, and Sam McCaskill is an example of that. And really from Sam, we didn't really have many after until we got to these last couple of years and got a chance to get a few guys out of there. We'll try to continue to do that.
Oregon State's obviously a Pac-12 program, but they did struggle last year. I think they were 0-9 in conference play. They haven't beaten an FBS team yet this year. Of course, they've only played a couple of games. Are you expecting to see a team that might be better than what numbers indicate?
Yeah, certainly. I don't, you know, I really don't look a whole lot. You know, we have stats and things like that, but I kind of throw that out the window, especially early on. And I certainly expect a lot better Boise State team than the last two games that we played in as well. So, you know, we've got to go travel there. We've got to go play. Certainly, they're well coached. Coach Anderson does a great job. I actually spent a couple days with him in the spring, so got a chance to get to know him and know the guys on their staff. They do a good job, and certainly we have to be prepared, and our guys are excited, all right, about this week and preparing. But yeah, we take every opponent that we go play, and we put our best effort in throughout the week. We try to go out there and put our best effort in on game day.
With their D coordinator coming over from Utah State, obviously last year offensively didn't go very well for you guys against Utah
Right.
State. What you mentioned the 5 turnovers they had last week too. What is it about their defense and like their defensive coordinator, I guess, and obviously they had some success against you last year.
Yeah, you know, they do quite a few things on defense. They're multiple, and certainly, you know, last year you can play off of that. You know, last year was a different personnel group as well that Utah State had, and these guys are really good. You know, they got very good defensive personnel. They do a good job in their scheme. You know, so that's a challenge for us. We certainly have to go back and look at that game and figure out where we can improve, and then look at the team that they're playing with now, that the players are playing with now in that scheme, and how do we try to go out there and do the best we can against them. And certainly looking at their people, big challenge because they're very good, they're fast, they're physical. We faced that last game when you're facing a Pac-12 defense in there, and guys can move around and they can make plays. These guys are certainly capable of doing that. And, you know, we're going to have to eliminate turnovers. You know, that's one thing. We talked about it after the game. Certainly put ourselves in a tough position. We were still able to win, but the turnovers, you know, we've got to be able to control that and do a better job.
You mentioned you got some guys more reps during the bye week. Who did that benefit the most?
Well, I think everybody.